Hey guys, it's David with Great Choice Audio Video, and today's video is about lighting. And what better place to show lighting is in the kitchen. We have this beautiful kitchen that is actually in our showroom, and in the kitchen we are able to show all different types of lighting, different lighting techniques, types of light, and that sort of thing. So to show you guys kind of what we've done and talk about different techniques, I want to start with our ceiling. So we want to go with a little bit modern, and through our hallways and entryways, we did a 1-inch Aspire lighting. Typically you would think 1-inch lighting, you're not getting a lot of light output, but you're totally wrong in this case. We actually have 800 lumens of light on each of these lights that are up here in the ceiling. And we didn't want to put anything to really mess up the ceiling. We wanted a nice, clean fit and finish, so we did trimless round. The nice thing about these lights is you could do trimless square, or you could do trims on them if you choose to do trims. But it's a modern look, but it's super nice. And I don't know if you see this or not, but you know, going down the hallway there and going down this hallway there. Matter of fact, just to show you, I don't know how well it's going to show you on camera, but let me turn off all the lights in this kitchen so we just see the 1-inch lights in the ceiling, and it's a lot of light. The nice thing about these lights is they don't take any space out of the ceiling. They look nice and clean, but they have the great ability to, as you adjust them down, they can actually go down to 1% and not flicker, which is a great thing, and give you some really cool ambient lighting. So these are a great type of light to use in hallways and living rooms. I mean, you could use them in kitchens too, just all different types and places in the house that you could use these. Now, you know, they also make, you know, 2-inch lights and 3-inch lights and 4-inch lights, but this just brings lighting to another level with the 1-inch lights and how modern they look, be nice and clean. So let's bring the lights all back up. And now I want to show you guys, you know, just what it looks like in our ceiling. So typically most people will do can lighting in the ceiling. Well, what we wanted to do is show something a little more modern, a little more linear, and we brought in a full square linear light. This is a Aspire lighting, but we did a dual track. So we actually have 2 strips of lights on each side of the track all the way around. So as I switch it all up, so we have 1 light in the ceiling, I turn off all the lights around, so the focus now is the ceiling. So this is at 3000K. Now, you may or may not want to do this in the kitchen, but we thought it'd be kind of really cool because we like warm, dim lighting in a lot of areas of the house. You know, living room, bedroom, patios, things like that. A lot of different areas, warm dim is really cool. If you don't know what warm dim or dim to warm, it's the way that you can go from 3000K at its brightest point, and when you dim it down, it's actually changing the color temperature all the way down to 1800, which gives you a nice golden glow. So let me show you kind of what that looks like. We'll give it about 50%. You see it's kind of turned a little bit, and I don't know how great this is represented on video, but you can create a lot of cool scenes by changing the way this looks. So even if this is in your kitchen, you know, if you're just relaxing, you got some friends over, you're having a glass of wine or a nice dinner, I mean, you can turn this down and be very, very comfortable. Obviously at 100%, it's very bright, but of course, typically when you have it bright, you're cooking, you're entertaining or whatnot. But again, we'll bring this all the way down to about 10%, and you'll see we're getting a really nice golden glow, which is super cool, and that's what warm dim is. So again, I love warm dim in a lot of different areas, but we want to do something different with the ceiling and not do your typical can lighting. We want to show what linear looks like, and there you have it. And so the other area that I want to show you guys is the cabinets. So let's just do cabinets only. So we're changing now the look of this whole room. So with the cabinets, there's so many different techniques that we've done here. As you see in the top shelf, what we chose to do is some uplighting. And so you'll notice it's a nice even glow all the way across because we use what's called a continuous light. It's not a strip that has a bunch of diodes on it giving all those little dots that you see a lot of the times. Matter of fact, all the lighting we did in the kitchen, none of them are diode type lights or LED strips. They all have continuous light through them. But we tried to do 3 different techniques. Uplighting, so we put an object in front of the light, so we're backlighting from the ground, from the bottom going upward. So it has a really cool effect there at the top. I really like that. Just one technique that we're showing here with these lights. And we're using the exact same type of light or strip in the top, the backsplash, and also at the baseboard, so they all match. Now the ones on the backsplash, again, you know, a lot of people put them on right underneath those cabinets, you know, aim them straight down, and it's got all those dots. It just drives me nuts. So you see this beautiful granite or whatever countertops, and all you see is these dots from the lights. It drives me nuts. So what we do, and what we like to do, is we do continuous lighting, no dots, and we put it in a 45-degree diffuser. So it not only cleans it up, but what it's doing is actually angling the light back to the backsplash. Because typically you want your backsplash to be you know, the focal point, and then it's bouncing off your backsplash onto your work surface. So it gives you a nice, cool glow. It's nice and even, and it just looks really, really nice. And so down at the bottom, if you notice, we have the kick plate. And so we did the same thing. We did the same type of light. It's all continuous lighting from Aspire, and it's all underneath, and it shines straight down. And again, you see no dots on the ground, just a nice even glow all the way across. Now, this light, we chose to do it in a fixed or a static color temperature. This is 2700K. So you can do 3000K, you can do 1800K. There's so many different color temperatures to choose from. I mean, we could have done this all warmed in to match with the ceiling, but we wanted to show, to give some different types of light and different types of color temperature, and using some lights that are static and some lights that can be warmed dim. So this particular area in the cabinets, we did all static, and again, these are 2700K. Now, people that don't know what static means, it means that no matter at its brightest point, which is right now, and let's take it down to about 50%. If you notice, it's less bright, but it's the same color temperature. So being as at 2700K is the color temp, it'll always be 2700K no matter what. You're just changing the output of the light. So again, all the way bright, and then let's go, you know, 50% or less. And again, it's a nice look, but the color didn't change. So it's consistent because we did the same thing for the lights at the very top, for the backsplash, and also for the choke kick. So let me turn all those back on. And so we got the hallways, we got the cabin lights, and then we got the ceiling lights. And so mixing all the three, you can really do some cool things when it comes to scenes, because when you create scenes, you're creating layers of light. And so, you know, whether you're entertaining, whether you're cooking, or just having some friends or family over, having different pieces that you can highlight with light, control individually, you can create some really cool scenes that makes this space look really, really nice. So we'll turn down this hallway, we'll turn up the cabinet lights a little bit, we'll bring down the ceiling light down, and then now we've got a nice warm scene. We've got nice light in the cabinet, nice warm light in the ceiling. It's not bright, so now it's comfortable. So you can introduce music in here, and you can, you know, bring in some food and some drinks and really relax. So it changes the entire space just by just doing a few things with light. So layers of light is like what we like to call it, because you're adding a layer for every type of light you can control individually, which gives you some really cool look. And you know, there's a lot of thought that goes into a kitchen like this. So let me turn everything all the way back up, and we're back up to 100%. So that way we're back into, you know, our normal everyday operations, cooking, whatever you're doing into the space. But as you can see, when everything's 100%, it's super bright. But you know, you want super bright when you're cooking and doing those sort of things. So this hopefully gives people an idea of what they can do in their space and different types of lights they can do with warm dim, with static, and the different color temperatures. And there's just a ton of different, you know, diffusers. So I can show you just a few different diffusers, but when it comes time to doing, you know, cabinets and whatnot, you know, we just have a multitude of these type of diffusers. And if you don't know what a diffuser is, it's just a channel that we can put a strip in with a piece of plastic over it, and that plastic changes, and depending on how wide or how thick it is, depends on how much it's diffusing the light or where it's angled. So you can do some really cool tricks with using diffusers inside cabinets, under cabinets, and that sort of thing. So anyway, guys, I think it's all on the kitchen for today. I love light, and there's so many cool things to do with light, but so many people look past the whole lighting thing because they're just gonna add a couple cans, call it a day. But as you can see here, there's a lot more you can do with light to make the space even more special. Really cool about adding layers of light. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys have any questions, comments, leave them in the section down below. And until next time, see y'all on the next one.